Hey guys, it's Chris with What Off Season. Just want to jump on here real quick and discuss Florida quota permits, the opportunities to hunt them, and the biggest thing really is how to navigate their website. Their website's kind of a little junky. It's been kind of nice because over the last few years we've seen everybody kind of go to the same gooutdoors.florida or .georgia or .illinois or whatever. We've seen a lot of states go to it, so it's becoming a little bit easier. But even then, once you get into them, they're all a little bit different. So I was just going to show you guys on here today how I look for new opportunities, how I get those WMA permits and, really how I apply for them, and then how I get all the information that goes into them, because it's super important. Do all your research, know your dates, know your rules before you start applying for things, right? The last thing you want to do is get a tag, take it from somebody else, and then not use it because you hear of a rule that, you might not necessarily love or something that doesn't work for you specifically. So come along. I'm going to show you guys, how to navigate FWC's website, along with how to apply for those quota permits, at least for Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. I should add, important date, Phase 1 ends on the 15th, so that's honestly in 2 days. So sorry if you're seeing this afterwards. It'll work for you for Phase 2 and Phase 3. Reissues are a whole nother thing that I'm not going to cover on this one, really, because I still don't really understand how they do it. Those ones are supposed to be first come, first served. What's available, I don't necessarily know if I believe that, but supposedly that's how those work. So come along. I'm going to show you guys really how to navigate the website and then go from there. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down in the box below. Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, and hopefully here soon we'll be able to share what quotas we actually got to know what we need to apply for Phase 2 and Phase 3. Alright guys, so first off I'm going to talk about really how to find WMAs. So you're just going to go on your computer, whether it's an Apple, Mac, doesn't really matter what you're using, the same thing works on your phone. You'll go over here to myfwc.com. So once you pop that in, it'll pop up this screen. Go over here to things to do. You'll see this thing on the top, buy and apply. That's where you're going to be able to actually apply for your quota permits, which is always a good thing to do. So when we were talking about those dates, right? So here's all your dates, alligator permits. If you want to apply for alligator permits, we'll go down here to Quota Hunts. So say you get all your Quota Hunts here. This is a little bit different than what it normally is, but this actually is a little bit easier. So you'll hit, say, archery. And then you'll be able to go down here, view application dates, quota, and boom, there you go. It's got all your information here. Phase 1, Phase 2, like I was saying, Phase 1 ends here in a few days. Then you got Phase 2, which is only 10 days. And then you got Phase 3 reissues. Like I said, still trying to figure it out. They have a reissuance schedule here. I'll be honest, I don't really believe it. But anyways, so let's go here. This actually makes it a little bit easier. There's just quick links for WMA brochures. Really good opportunity here on knowing what you're actually going to apply for, which I think is really cool. So, and just so everybody knows, Florida does do preference points. So, WMA brochures, and then you'll see this bunch of stuff information up here. Now, I always like to hit this guy right here. Now, you'll see this always pops up, WMAs that are open or closed. Normally, this isn't that much of a deal, except for during hurricane season. Say we get a really bad storm and most of them are, flooded. Some WMAs will be closed, some will be open, but some will be closed, especially normally when we get a big hurricane or whatnot that comes through. So there's a couple different options. You'll hit get brochures now, but say you want to go hunt a deer and you want to do it for archery, and you want it to be a quota hunt. So not something that you can just go to whenever you want. You hit a quota hunt. If you're traveling in here, the days might be nice to have. I don't do it because quota permits, they are what they are. I kind of change my schedule around them if I need to. So archery, deer, within 50 miles of, we'll just put it in my zip code. Boom. Hastings, Florida. Search. Now it's going to pop up with this map. There we go. Okay, so these are all the areas in Florida. So Florida actually has a lot of public land. It's not always open 24/7 to everybody. But they do have a lot of opportunities to hunt. This big one right here, this Osceola National Forest, is only quota for the first few days, and then it's wide open, which is really nice. They do a little bit of dog hunting here too, so if that's your fancy, that's your thing, you can do that. But you'll see all these different areas over here. So I don't hunt here, but let's check Belmore. You can hit view brochure right there, and it's going to pop up with all the information. Now, these things are really nice because there's a bunch of information here. You can hit the map only, which will download so you can see your maps. Kind of tell you the road. It'll have a little legend on where you access the roads, all the fun things there. But once you go into here, you'll see how many quotas there are. So permit information, it'll tell you, okay, for archery, there's 45 no-cost hunts, but there's no exemptions. So exemptions are, a lot of time, they're for individuals who are maybe over 65. Some places have different things, but realistically, you know, most of them have no exemptions. Some of them do. So there's going to be 3 hunts with 45 each. And then you can go down here for archery season. It'll give you all the information. So what's legal to hunt? That's kind of a big thing, right? Deer with at least 1 antler having 3 points on one side or a main beam of 10 inches or more, antlerless deer, which means you can kill does on this property. So that's a big thing. Not all archery permits are going to allow you to kill does, even if it aligns with a state regulated doe permits. That's something you're really going to have to look at this year, because muzzleloader, you're now allowed to shoot on private land. You are allowed to shoot does during muzzleloader season, which you've never been able to do in the past. But you look here, you know, perfect prime example, right? You look at muzzleloader season in Belmore, you are allowed to kill 1 deer having an antler of 3 or 4 more points with or a main beam of 10 inches or more. Then all the other things. That means you are not allowed to kill doe on this piece of property in muzzleloader season, even though statewide you're legally allowed to do so. So those are some things you need to look at. Now, if I am just gung-ho on being able to shoot a doe with a muzzleloader, I'm not going to apply for this place. But I think that's really, really, really important, because there's a lot of people out there who get tags because they heard it's a good area. They got a muzzleloader tag. They want to be able to make sure they're putting their tag on something. Maybe a buck's not an opportunity for them. Maybe they're only going to be able to hunt 1 day. They want to be able to utilize all the opportunities they have to them, so they want to shoot a doe. Well, Belmore's not going to be the place to apply for that. So you can go back. It's back here again, and you'll be able to see more of those same areas. So you'll be able to click, any of the other places you want to hunt. Maybe it's this place. It's Grove Park. Give you a little bit of information about it, and you can go down here, find it, and go through that way. But what we're going to do here, so now you've figured out how to access the WMA brochures, what to look for, some of the key little things that might be important on there that you might need to see before you actually even apply for the permit. So let's go over here to WMA Brochures. Now this is back to our home screen, so we're going to hit Buy Apply, Limited Entry Quotes. We're going to hit, so it gives you all the information right here on how to apply. So we're going to hit this gooutdoorsflorida.com. You can just put this directly into your browser if you want. We're going to put in my birthday, my name, submit. Okay. So the first thing it does, it pops up with this certifying your residency. This is something that's happened over the last 2 or 3 years. And I'll be honest with you, it's really freaking annoying. I wish they didn't do this. I wish they just made you do it like maybe every 90 days or something. But it's really frustrating. So you're going to certify your information right there because all my information looks correct. Now you're going to come to this screen. This looks a little bit different from your phone, but it still works on your phone, which is cool. It's going to have all your information up here. If you want to buy a certain license, you can buy your licenses up here. You can manage your stored payments, your certifications, all things. So what I say you're going to buy, you need to buy a license. So in order to buy and apply for any of your hunting licenses, any of your quota hunts, you have to have a quota permit or a WMA permit for Florida. So before you can even do that, you can go in through here. You can buy your licenses, whether it's your saltwater fishing, your whatever you want. So management area stamp, you can do a 5-year, you can do whatever you want. Some of these are hidden for me because I've already got majority of these. But what I do, and the way I did my license, is I actually did the sportsman. This Gold Sportsman right here is included with everything. So it's everything. Everything you can think of from the beginning to the end. It is archery, it's muzzleloader, it's fishing, it's hunting, it's your snook license, it's everything. It's wild. You have to separate, you have to put in more information, but it includes your migratory game bird. The only thing this doesn't include that I have to buy separately from the Gold Sportsman is the federal duck stamp, which you got to buy anyways. But to what we're doing here today. So we're going to do apply for limited entry quota hunts. It's going to pop up with all these different opportunities for you to hunt. Now, I've already applied for, all these ones that are blacked out. I've already applied for. But say you want to go hunt, let's see here, one's a little bit different. Track vehicle. All right. And it's going to give you an option. Do you want to apply as an individual? Do you want to apply as a group? Do you want to join a group? Or do you just want to apply for points only? This is a new one, this apply for points only, that just came up this year. Kind of a cool opportunity. If you know you're not going to be able to do it, you can apply just for points. The cool thing I'll say about most WMA quota hunts in Florida is they're free to apply. They don't cost you $1. They don't cost you $1 if you get them. Now, there's special opportunity ones that do, but for the most part, they don't. So, say I'm going to apply as an individual. You can apply as a group if you want. Nice thing about the group is if one person gets it, you all get it. Which is nice. So if the group gets it, the group gets it. Now you're going to have these opportunities here that's going to pop down. So you're going to have your hunt choice 1, your hunt choice 2, and you're going to be able to pop in and pick out which one you want. And remember, all this information that you find here, you looked at and you found in the WMA brochures before you started applying. You're going to hit next. So I'm going to apply for a track vehicle. I'm not going to actually do this because I am not going to hunt a track vehicle in the Everglades. Next, you would type in some information here, which I do not have because I don't have a track vehicle, so maybe that wasn't the best option. Let's see here. Let's try this guy, the special opportunity hunts. There shouldn't be a bunch of shenanigans with this guy. Alright, so you'll get to come down, you'll get one choice. Now, a lot of all your other hunts, you get multiple choices. I think you get like 6. And then the way they do these is they'll have these as you got the hunt number. Don't really pay attention to the hunt number. Not really that big of a deal, but normally this first hunt, and you get the second, third, fourth, fifth, however many there is. A lot of times they're in order. So normally the first one is going to be the first week. The second one will be the second week. The third one will be the third week. So say I want to hunt green swamp archery or general gun for deer and hog. Alright, so say I hit next on that guy. Quantity. Just going to do 1. And it's going to pop up all right here. And that's it, guys. I mean, that's literally it. So if you want to apply for another one, you hit this submit and apply for another application. All right, and it'll pop up that screen where you can tap more or finish and check out. You hit finish and check out. It's going to pop up to this screen. It's going to ask you if you ever want to round it. This is one of those special opportunity hunts that do make you pay. Like I said, I'm not doing it because I'm not going to go hunt this. I know I'm not. I'm not going to take a tag away from somebody else. So just hit checkout now. It's going to ask you if you ever want to give money back to, to the young kids and getting them teached up in hunting and fishing. Always a great idea, but you definitely don't have to. Not at this time. It's always going to offer you an opportunity to get a hard card. I don't do it. FWC now has an app on your phone that works really well, so I just put everything right there. So I'm going to hit not at this time. And then you're going to be able to type in all your information right here. And then once it's done, it's going to pop up. So let's go back to home. Something that's always nice to know is exactly how many permits you got, right? So if you actually go into, or what permits you got. So limited entry, quota, and awards. You can tap this guy right here, and you can see it's a little bit different on your phone versus your computer. But it's going to give you all the places you applied for. So this year, 2025, these are all the places I've applied for. It's pending draw on all these. As you can see here, the statewide gator permit, the first week, the first phase, I was not selected. I was able to go through for phase 2 and got county tags. So definitely apply. Pay attention to phase 1. Just because you didn't get it in phase 1 doesn't mean you're not going to get it in phase 2. Definitely doesn't mean you're not going to get it in phase 3. So pay attention to that. I was able to get it in phase 2. Now for phase 1, I've applied for all these different things here. If you ever want to know and you want to go back and edit some of your information, you can do so. you just jump in here and I'll just say like this family hunt, and I'm going to show the family hunt because it doesn't, or I'm going to do this, the quota, the wild hog. I'm going to pop this one up because it doesn't show the places that I actually deer hunt. So it's going to pop up these right here, right? So this is my first option, my number 2 option, my number 3 option, my number 4 option. These are all the areas. Tells you how many preference points I had. I should get one of these, which will be cool. So back to that preference point piece, you can hit this view preference points, and it'll pop up and tell you all of your preference points. So right now I don't have any for archery. That's because you can hit it, open up and expand. In 2022 I applied, I was unsuccessful, so I got a point. 2023 I applied, also unsuccessful, so I got a point, so I had 2. But 2024 I applied. There's another video on here where I showed where I got my archery hunt last year, where I was successful at. So took 2 points away to get that tag. Not really mad about it because I filled it. Family quota, unsuccessful 2 years in a row. But one of the biggest ones I've been unsuccessful with is wild hog, which is silly because it's in the middle of March. But something I think is kind of cool that Florida does is if you get a point on your first phase, if you draw in phase 1, you return it because you couldn't go or whatever. They give you your points back +1. So you can see here I was unsuccessful 3 years in a row. So I had 3. I was actually successful in 2024. So they took all 3 of those away. Well, then we had some family stuff come up. I wasn't able to do it. Really, my daughter, I just don't think she was ready to go. It was a 2-day hunt, so we didn't go. So I returned it. That way, give an opportunity for another family to be able to grab it. So I got my 3 points back here. Plus, they gave me an additional point, which is why I have 4 points. So is it great? I don't really know. Is it a way to kind of play with the system? Of course it is. You could apply for something in a less desirable area that you think you're going to get a permit, and with the full intention of returning it in phase 1, just so you can get 2 points. So it's a way to almost get 2 points in a year. Do I love it? Do I not love it? It's working out well for me. I don't know if everybody knows it, so maybe they do now, and maybe FWC changes it. I know it was on, we were able to vote for it this year to get rid of that aspect, but it didn't go through. So you can still apply, and if you get it, return it and get a point. So that's kind of all your points back +1, which is nice. And really, it's a really good opportunity to be able to give that tag to somebody else, have an opportunity to use it. There's people right now getting tags who intentionally don't hunt. They're getting these tags and using them up so that way people like you and me can't use them. So if you're going to get a tag and you're going to apply, use it. If you're not going to use it, just return it. Give an opportunity for people to actually fill these tags. These tags and these quotas are put in for a reason. They need these deer taken off these properties. So it's super important. Do your research before you apply, please. It's the number 1 thing I can say. I don't know if they have any correlation. A lot of these places don't have, FWC biologists who work on the properties. Some of them do, some of them don't. Those that do, I think it's, I don't know this to be certain, but I feel like they do keep track of like who shows up and who doesn't, as well as who kills and who isn't successful. And I feel like that kind of goes into whether you get tags next year or not. Like I said, I don't know that to be true. That's just what I think based upon my experiences and my friends' experiences. So do your research, get in there. There's a lot of really great hunting in Florida. If you decide that you're going to come to Florida, or you're going to hunt, or you already hunt in Florida and you want to learn a little bit more about some WMAs, call me. Message me if you're down south, and I might not be able to help you a whole bunch, but who knows, maybe you might be able to help me out. So really looking forward to all the public land hunting we got in store for this year, both in Florida and out of state. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you have anything, if you thought I missed anything, put it on there. I hope this was informative. I hope you guys learned a little bit of thing or two about navigating FWC's quota permits. You got a day and a half to get on there and apply. So get on there, get your applications in, apply. We need more hunters, not less. And if you're not successful in phase 1, don't forget phase 2 and phase 3. As you saw earlier, they're really short. So you got about a 10-day window versus the full month window on phase 1. So get in there, get your applications in, and we'll catch you outside in the woods.